Good evening, everyone, and welcome to SCPS. I'd like to call to order the meeting of December 13th, School Board meeting of Seminole County. And Member Pennick, you have the invocation and pledge, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Tonight, I just want to recognize a program at Lake Brantley High School. It's the Environmental Wastewater Program. In 2020, we formalized a partnership with the City of Altamont Springs, where the city pays for the cost of instructional materials and supports monthly planned visits for our students to go visit their site. The teacher of the program, Terry Silito, is a retired operator from Altamont Springs and currently has 9 students enrolled in their Level C operator certification course. This course allows these kids to go directly into the workforce right out of school and not the college path, which is something that we always talk about, supporting choice. The students receive a science credit for successful course completion and make monthly visits to the Altamont facility to engage in hands-on application of classroom learning. It provides the pathway towards water treatment operator, environmental specialist, or a civil engineer, and students entering into the senior year who are not zoned for Lake Brantley may transfer for the program. And so Jill has a 3-minute video for us to look at some of the successes of the program.
And I saw like the benefits and the like job pay and everything, and I just thought it was a great career field to even go into.
I went to the presentation, spoke with the operator. They said all kinds of things, offered science credits, offered real life training, very up-to-date information, and it caught my eye right there and then.
I think my leaders, my parents, like siblings and stuff all push me to keep going every day. And having those people there trying to teach you every day, you know, kind of makes it hard for you to give up because it's like they're going out of their way and waking up every morning for you. So you should be there 100%, even 110%.
The program prepared me a lot. The teacher we had gave us everything we needed. Other than that, like it was just all down to us, like trying to cram all the information into us so we can remember it.
Being able to take tours here, that helped a major part of learning the actual material, because it's one thing to just read about it and see a book and what the book is showing, just one example. But when you actually get here and you walk around, you start paying attention. It's a completely different story.
I bought some stuff in my truck really because I like putting money in my truck.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things I did. I did a couple investments and stuff like that. I went on trips. I just bought a motorcycle.
Well, I'm saving up for my first car right now. But other than that, I've been helping my family pay rent, you know, buy things for the house, helping out my sisters.
That was one thing too, like you get the science credit, which a lot of people, they don't want to take those other science classes. And water treatment, it's a good thing to know. Like when you graduate high school, people always complain, say you didn't really learn much in high school. This is definitely a class you can learn something from.
It is an abundant amount of information and you will feel overwhelmed within the first 6 months. I can guarantee you that, but I promise you, if you just consistently practice and study, I promise that you will understand.
There's so many, connections that you get in the city. You don't have to be an operator your whole life. You know, you can go in different, sections of the city. You know, it doesn't have to be your career, forever.
Hey, sounds skeptical, but it's a good career. They offer the best benefits and you're going to have a good teacher. And it's a sure thing you can apply to anywhere. And it's going to help you get your licenses. And the teacher will help you pass that state exam. So I had said, hey, just study now, get ready. And once you're there, it's going to be good.
Just one of the great programs that we offer here at Seminole County that offers our students a different pathway than college. So if everyone would please stand and do the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, you. Thank you very much. Let the record reflect that Board Member Davis, Board Member Garrick, Board Member Penick, Vice Chair Sanchez, Associate School Board Attorney Greg Johnson, Superintendent Beeman, Board Clerk Jill Moramis are all present. Ms. Moramis, do we have any acknowledgements today? Okay. Superintendent, do you have any agenda modifications?
Yes, I do. The addendum for good cause is marked on our agenda with the green flag. I am requesting to pull item 3A, the focus on student achievement.
Okay. The roll call for today, I passed out. I'm sorry, Member Vice Chair Sanchez.
No modifications, thank you.
Okay, next up.
No modifications, thank you, Madam Chair.
No modifications, thank
And
you.
I have none either. Thank you very much. Okay, so we've gone through that. Is there a motion to approve the agenda online?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Superintendent, do we have presentations or recognitions?
Yes, we do. We'll start with our Veteran of the Month, Mr. Cutney, who will be introduced by Dr. Coleman.
All right, good evening. I'm Dr. Coleman, and I'm the principal of South Seminole Academy, and I am honored tonight to showcase the Veteran of the Month, First Lieutenant Christopher Cudney. Christopher Cudney completed his basic training in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and his advanced individual training at the Defense Information School at Fort Meade, Maryland. He began his service as a 46Q military journalist with the Indiana Army National Guard and achieved the enlisted rank of specialist. He attended Ball State University and graduated with a degree in speech communication and theater with a focus in education in 2004. During his matriculation, he also joined the Ball State Reserve Officers Training Corps. Upon graduation, he was commissioned as a second lieutenant, 46A, with Indiana National Guard Public Affairs. Upon receiving a teaching position in 2005 in Okeechobee, Florida, he transferred to the Florida National Guard with the 107th Mobile Public Affairs Detachment located in St. Augustine, Florida. Lieutenant Cudney was deployed in 2009 to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. During this time, he served as the executive editor of the base news magazine, The Wire. He also worked closely with a 6-person broadcast team that escorted visiting dignitaries, VIPs, and national and international news media visiting the base. Upon his return in 2010, he moved to Castleberry, Florida, and continued his teaching career at Southwest Middle School in Dr. Phillips. He moved once more, to South Seminole Academy, where he has served as a language arts teacher for the last 7 years. Lieutenant Cudney was medically discharged under honorable conditions in 2011 due to a back injury received during his service at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. His wife of 9 years, Tara Cudney, is a medical coding and billing specialist, and his son, Tevin Cudney, I can't believe this, is a second-grade student at Castleberry Elementary. Congratulations and thank you, Lieutenant Cudney, for your service to our country and your gift of laughter at South Seminole Academy.
what y'all really do. I learned a new call tonight, chirp, chirp, for the Cardinals, huh? All right, my name is Mike Rice. I'm the assistant superintendent for our high schools here in Seminole County, and this evening I have the honor to recognize some great students and great programs in our county, in our athletics and our arts program. And so let's kick this off. Want to first recognize the Hagerty High School Band Program, who earned this year's Blue Ribbon Award of Excellence. Come on up. This year, Hagerty High School became a Southern Division winner of the Program of Excellence Blue Ribbon Award through the National Band Association. This award recognizes programs and educators which challenge students and promote standards of excellence both regionally and nationally. As a division winner of one of 5 schools in the nation to be the recipient of the distinguished award, the Hagerty Band Program will now be considered for the national award. The application process for the Blue Ribbon Award was extensive and included recordings, honors, and awards, 5 years of concert programming, music performance, assessment ratings, repertoire lists, participation lists of students and honor bands, and Division Blue Award winners receive a frame certificate in recognition of the NBA General Membership Meeting held at the Midwest Clinic. The Hagerty High School Band consists of the Marching Huskies, 2 jazz ensembles, 3 concert bands, and a percussion ensemble, and they have an extensive history of superior performances playing a variety of music. And last year, all ensembles earned a superior rating at their district music performance assessments. Recipients of the Otto J. Croshire Award, the Wind Ensemble has earned straight superior ratings in all district and state performances in 2013, 2017, and 2018. And this year, the marching band also received its 18th consecutive year of earning a superior rating at the District Marching Performance Assessment. Under the direction of Brad and Brian Cooperman, the program employs a philosophy to excite students about music, develop outstanding young musicians, and create well-rounded individuals. They are pushed to not only become great musicians, but also great people. It is with parent and administrative support that the Hagerty High School continues to be successful. So joining us tonight, as you see up here, are students from the band leadership team, CJ Knowles, Ashan Kabir, Sophie Lagolba, Ariana Segnoit, and Braden Bast, as well as the band directors from Hagerty High School and Mr. Rob Frasca. Congratulations on your Blue Ribbon Award of Excellence. All right, now we have a few championships from the FHSAA and a few runner-up recognitions. So I'd like to start this off by recognizing the girls swim state champions from Oviedo High School, actually senior, this is an individual champion, Beth Cathcart. Come on up, Beth. Sarah Beth has had an incredible 4 years at Oviedo High School. She's been a member of 3 state championship relays, the school record holder in 4 events, and the 2022 state champion in the 50 free swimming, a 23.0. Sarah Beth will be swimming for the Florida State Seminoles next year. Also here tonight is principal from Oviedo High School, Dr. Trent Daniel, and the swim coach, Charlie Rose. Congratulations to you, Sarah Beth Cathcart. And now we will recognize as the state champion runner-up from Oviedo High School, the girls swim team. Come on up. You hear that medals clinking away? Somebody's been winning. The Lady Lions were conference, district, and region champions this year. The class of seniors that you see before you is the most decorated class in Oviedo High School swimming history, having won 4 conference championships, 4 district championships, 3 region champions, and 1 state team title and 2 runner-up titles as well. They have been undefeated in dual meets for the past 4 consecutive years, and so far college commitments include Gabby Goodwin and Sarah Beth Cathcart, who are going to Florida State University, Kaylin Herbert, who is going to Miami of Ohio, and Marin Rose to the U.S. Naval Academy, with other teams still waiting to commit to other members. Joining us tonight is Addie Borowski, Nellie James, Kaylin Herbert, Seal Sanabria, Marin Rose, Gabby Goodwin, Sarah Beth Cathcart, Molly Connell, Chloe Dunn, Tessa Sims, and Megan Hurley. Also here tonight, as we mentioned, Dr. Daniel, principal of Oviedo High School, and Charlie Rose, the coach. Congratulations once again to the girls swim team from Oviedo High School. Next up, we'd like to recognize the back-to-back FHSAA Girls Golf State Champions from Lake Mary High School. Come on up. At this year's state tournament, the Rams built an 11-shot lead and never wavered on their way to winning their second straight state championship and get this, ninth championship overall. It was a Ram-tastic season for the girls as they set a new school record for team low round with an 8 under par 280 at the Region 1 tournament. The Rams claimed 5 team championships this fall, including the Qdoba Championship, the Seminole Athletic Conference Championship, the District 4 Championship, and the Regional 1 Championship to go along with their 2022 3A State Championship. Senior Jocelyn Marrow, Junior Aranya Fana, sophomores Riley Knobb, Lauren Finley, Delaney Silloway, Julia McGowan, and Noelle Jones, and freshmen Madison Kale and Callie Anderson. Unfortunately, Dr. Reynolds was not able to make it tonight because she is homesick, not feeling well, but in her place is Assistant Principal Mr. Michael Hennessy, Athletic Director Mr. Rick Wires, and coach of these fine young students, Coach Dennis Birchill III. Congratulations to the Lady Rams golf team. Our next recognition this evening is earning the FHSAA 7A State Runner-Up. Congratulations to the Hagerty High School girls volleyball team. This team finished with an overall record of 22-9 while claiming the district and regional titles. Team members and managers include Samaya Bolton, Mate Camacho, Emma Grenier, Avery Machules, Sophia Marini, Abby Moss, Michaela Meisler, Layla Miller, Braille Mullen, Nadia Nute, Janesse Orcott, Landon Pittman, Madeline Schwartz, Avery Stevens, Brooke Stevens, Mina Stevens, and Faith Walsh. The coaching staff from this great team includes Tawny Claudefelter, Karina Dos Santos, and Mike Hitt, and head coach for the Huskies is Juanita Hitt. Also here tonight is principal of Hagerty High School, Mr. Robert Frasca. Congratulations, ladies, on your runner-up appearance at the state championships. Let's give it one more time, a round of applause to Hagerty High School girls volleyball team. You in the photo? All right, continuing our recognitions tonight. At this time, I'd like to recognize the boys swimming state runner-up for the 200 medley relay from Lake Brantley High School. Come on up. Reaching second place with a time of 1 minute 33 seconds, .08, the boys exceeded expectations this year after winning last year's championship and graduating our top freestyler. All the boys had their best splits of the season to post a time over a second faster than predicted. Team members include senior Seth Bessinger, senior Darren Dieter, senior Ashton Kristalik, and freshman Danny Garcia. Unfortunately, Mr. Blazewitz had another event that he was at with his family this evening, and joining these fine young athletes, Dean of Students, Miss Amy Colasante, and Coach Gabe Parnell. Congratulations to the Lake Brantley High School boys swimming 200 medley relay. He's tall. All right. At this time, I'd like to recognize the 2022 FHSAA 3A diving state runner-up from Winter Springs High School, sophomore Hadley Futch. Hadley Futch finished her amazing sophomore season as a state runner-up while also capturing the FHSAA Regional Championship. She nearly broke the school record for most points ever behind the 2011 state champion Shannon Potter. Congratulations to Hadley. We are looking forward to watching you compete for 2 more seasons. Also here tonight is the principal of Winter Springs High School, Mr. Pete Gaffney, athletic director, Mr. Scott Gomrad, and the coach of these fine student athletes, Coach Terry Horner and Coach Kim Weinberger. Congratulations to you, Hadley Futch. Papa Gaff. And for our final recognition tonight, as you've heard me say a couple times, we talk about our student athletes, and there's nothing more exciting than to recognize the academic success of one of our teams here this evening. Each year, the Florida High School Athletic Association compiles data for each team based on their GPA of their student athletes. And this season, the Seminole County Public Schools is proud to announce that one of our teams has been crowned the FHSAA Academic State Champion. So at this time, I'd like to recognize the girls cross country academic state champion from Winter Springs High School. These ladies captured the 2022 Seminole Athletic Conference Team Championship, the FHSAA District Team title, and the FHSAA Region Team's title. They captured the FHSAA Academic State Championship with an overall unweighted cumulative GPA of a 3.834. This was 1/1000th of a quality point ahead of runner-up Ponte Vedra High School, and as you see, it is definitely a game of inches. I want to congratulate Simone Monaco, Scarlett, Grace, and Gabrielle Mason, Jolynn Rodriguez, Ella Giambalvo, Maya Horland, and Sadie Litz. Also here tonight, we saw him earlier, Papa Gaff from Winter Springs High School Principal, Athletic Director, Mr. Gomrad, and the coach of these fine young students, Coach Octavius Clark. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for the Academic State Champions, Winter Springs Girls Cross Country Team.
Good evening, board members. That was a very exciting set of athletic recognitions, and congratulations to all our teams. On behalf of Ms. Beeman, I am going to do one introduction of a new senior leadership team member, and excited to formally introduce Tim Bargeron as our new Chief Financial Officer. Most importantly, Tim has 2 degrees from the University of Florida. Go Gators. And Tim, perfect timing on that announcement. Mr. Barjon is joining us from Manatee County Public Schools, where he most recently served as Deputy Superintendent for Business Operations, but also has experience as Assistant Superintendent in Galveston, Texas, and 16 years in St. Lucie County Schools as Chief Financial Officer and Deputy Superintendent. Congratulations, Tim, and welcome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Tonight's roll call order is Vice Chair Sanchez, Member Pennick, Member Davis, Member Garrick, and then myself. Are there any board items removed for consideration? Any board comments? I'm sorry, but are there any board comments?
Do you want me to go ahead and start my regular comments, or do you want me to, I don't have any on the agenda. Mine are just regular.
Are they committee reports? That'll be at the end.
Okay, perfect. I'll wait. I'm
Okay,
good.
thank you. Member Pennick?
No, ma'am.
Member Davis? No. Member Garrick?
No.
And I have no additional comments. Okay, board members, at the November 15th meeting, I'm just recalling this, there was we approved the distribution of an invitation to negotiate called ITN for wireless network cabling to go forward, and we agreed we'd wait until after the organization meeting to ask if there are any members interested in serving on this ITN committee. Any, Member Davis or Garrick, are you interested in serving?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
I'll do it.
Okay, thank you, Vice Chair Sanchez.
Thank you.
Okay, and now it's time for our public comments, the agenda items. I think we have one more coming in. Vice Chair Sanchez, will you read the
Sure.
requirements?
Policy 0169.1, public participation at board meetings. The purpose of public participation segments of the board meeting is to allow the public to address matters within the board's jurisdiction and not to resolve individual grievances or disputes. Public comments related to education, the board agenda, and the district are welcome and encouraged. But public comment segments are not forums to engage in personal attacks against school system employees or board members. To maintain orderly conduct, the public comment segments, of the meeting may not be used as open forums to discuss matters unrelated to education, to support or oppose candidates for public office, including presentation of political and/or campaign issues, announcing candidacy or campaigning, or to engage in commercial speech attempting to sell a service or product to the board or the public. Nor are they forums to address matters involving disciplinary actions of any kind, pending claims, complaints, or litigation against the district or district personnel. Public comment segment durations are as follows. Agenda items are limited to 3 minutes. One group representative speaking on a proposition, maximum of 6 minutes. Speaker must remain on topic for the agenda item. Non-agenda items limited to 2 minutes. Speakers shall direct the comments only to the board and may not address the audience or other speakers. No speaker may yield his or her time to any other person. Generally, substitutions of speakers will not be allowed. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we have one agenda speaker, Ms. Nina Sandberg.
Hi, I'm Nina Sandberg, and I'm going to repeat this speech because the two new board members did not hear it. I'm very happy to see that at least some SCPS students are getting field trips again, but I must point out that thousands of SCPS students have had no field trips at all since March 12th of 2020. The pandemic is over, and it's time for SCPS to resume its usual field trips for each grade. All SCPS students should be given the opportunity to participate in at least one field trip per year unless there are physical, mental, or disciplinary issues that would prevent their participation. It's time to resume normal annual customary field trips for all grades in SCPS. The board and superintendent should assign the task of scheduling field trips for the winter and spring of this year to the appropriate personnel at all SCPS schools. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. That concludes agenda public comments. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
Yes, it's that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Motion.
Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you. Member Garrick. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation regarding the student discipline hearings?
Yes, that the School Board of Seminole County approve the student disciplinary recommendations from November 7, 2022, November 14, 2022, and November 28, 2022.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion passes. We have no unfinished business, new business. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation regarding new business?
Yes, the first recommendation is that the chairman assign school board members to serve on various committees, groups, agencies, and boards.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
A second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
And the second recommendation is that the School Board of Seminole County take such action as is required by Section 4 CSHB 909, amending Section 194.015 Florida statutes for providing for membership of the Seminole County Value Adjustment Board by electing a school board member alternate, and appointing a qualified citizen as member of the VAB for 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Superintendent, do you have a report?
Chairman, my report is read-only, is included in the agenda book.
Okay, thank you. Okay, at this time, are there any board committee updates, starting with Vice Chair Sanchez?
So for the zoo board, we are continuing the Asian Lantern Festival. We did the VIP night a couple weeks ago. It's absolutely amazing. So if you haven't had a chance to head over to the Asian Lantern Festival, the tickets are on sale. You can buy them online, and there's so much to see, and you really can't see the animals at night, but they're all sleeping. But it's something that it's really great opportunity for your family to take advantage of, and it's open until January 15th. So go to the Central Florida Zoo website. We are open, and the water has receded, thank goodness. Animals are doing well, and try to make it if you can. The other boards, I don't have any updates except for the Central Florida School Board Coalition. That board, I'm now a chair for that board. We met at the Florida School Board Association, all of us, when we were there for our conference. And we are lining up guest speakers. Our first one will be Commissioner of Education, which is Manny Diaz, and he will be speaking. Those meetings are public. They will be via Zoom, so I will be sending out notices once the meetings are listed. We'll be talking about some legislative priorities and some things that we are trying to make sure that happen throughout our state. So our meeting will be January 9th on that, and our meetings start at 9:30 in the morning. We don't do them at the Orange County Public School facility anymore. Ever since post-pandemic, it's just easier for the 14 school board districts not to have to travel from Hillsborough County to Orange County for a couple hours. So it just makes it easier for everybody to do it via Zoom, and plus it's easier for us to get guest speakers as well. And then the rest is just regular committee reports.
Okay, thank you. Member Pennock?
I had no committee meetings, but just some of the highlights from this last couple weeks was the Night of Impact Gala for the foundation. Thank you to everyone that came out and supported. It was a great night about the rebrand of the event and a lot of really good feedback. We had the Teacher of the Year visit, which was very exciting. It's always fun to get in and see the teachers be surprised. I went to the Community Leadership Academy last Friday that was at Millennium Middle School, showing off some of the arts and entertainment that the school does, and it was fabulous. And however you celebrate the upcoming holidays, I wish you Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. I hope that you rest and rejuvenate, and look forward to seeing everyone in the new year.
Thank you. Next up, Member Davis.
Well, I have just been assigned to the Children's Cabinet, the Community Alliance, and the Seminole Health Advisory Council. I'm excited to get to know everybody there and start participating. I think we have our first meeting with me and the Children's Cabinet this week, so I'm excited to get started.
I actually think it's tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
This week.
Well, welcome. Way to jump in. And Member Garrick.
My new committee assignments are the Business Advisory Committee, as well as the Sanford Leaders Association, and some highlights from the last couple of weeks. First, the Florida School Board Association Conference. I want to thank the former board members and current board members that made this a priority. The education was really drinking from the fire hose. That is a phrase that I heard over and over again. I want to thank everybody at both the conference and locally who has made me feel so welcome and has given me so much information in order that I can serve the community. A couple of highlights from the last couple of weeks. There was the Transitions Fair that was put together by Amy Elwood and her team, which was just a fabulous introduction to all of the resources available for our ESE students beyond high school as they move into the community and become independent. I also had the opportunity to visit Wilson Elementary with Superintendent Beeman and Assistant Superintendent Senko. And I want to say some of my highlights there were also visiting the ESE classrooms and seeing all of the great work, the individualized instruction that's going on. And in a mainstream classroom, there was a second grade teacher who was so inventive. If we can have a grant or some sort of incentive so that at each school we can do what she's done, which is to individualize her classroom seating. She had rocking chairs, she had beanbag chairs, she had chairs that lifted, she had stools, she had balls, you name a way that you can sit, it was available in that classroom, and it really allowed each child to feel special and to be comfortable in their classroom in a way that they could enjoy. I could talk and talk and talk all day, but I would like to say I was at Midway Safe Harbor Center over the weekend. Fabulous celebration for that community. And speaking of holiday celebrations, our Giving Tree, which is being spearheaded by community engagement leader, Miss Mills, is still in need of donations. We are serving 1,500 students in need this year. 1,500 to 1,800 students are homeless. So while the social workers are out filling the goodie bags, there is still need. There's not enough time to get gifts to put under the tree, but if you would like to go to our website, you can make a donation, and the social workers will be able to get gift cards and make sure that every child feels special this holiday season. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Member Garrett. Vice Chair Sanchez, did you want to do highlights? You said
I'm
you
sorry,
missed
yes,
them.
because I thought we were just doing the committee reports, but I do want to mention one of the boards I sit on, Allie's Hope. We had our Glass Full of Hope event last week. It was phenomenal, and our Rams broadcast, our podcast, they were there and did an absolutely phenomenal job. Chair Kraus was with me there, as well as Mike Rice, our Deputy Superintendent for High Schools, and Mr. Howard and Mr. Bevan. So it was great to see all of them there. It was packed, and Dillard's gave us a $10,000 check, which was really nice, along with so many different auction items. We did really well, and of course, you know, that program, we are working on diligently to get into all the schools, some different ways and different ways that the principals would like to acclimate it into their schools. So be on the lookout for that. I also want to give a shout out to the phenomenal team at South Seminole Academy. Today was Leadership Day, and Ms. Mia Coleman, unbelievable job from her and her staff, and the students and their leadership skills and how they spoke with everybody and shared their experiences throughout all the different things that they have been doing, the field trips, because I mean, I know that pretty much even in our board book, a lot of field trips have been improved, so a lot of them have been taking some great field trips with that. And then I wanted to mention that I'm sitting on the state PTA board, scholarship board, so be on the lookout for the scholarships that we will be passing out through the state for PTA, and literally there's a lot of money that will be given out for students that want to go either vocational route, community school route, or college, whichever route they want to go to. So there are a lot of scholarship opportunities that will be out there. You can also go onto our foundation page for that as well. And then I just wanted to mention one more thing, what Member Pennick was talking about with Pure Alta and the Frank Martz program, along with our Mayor Bates and our City Manager Frank Martz. The program that has been implemented is just amazing, and I know I've taken a tour of it, and I know that, I don't know if the two of you may want to take a tour of it. Have you taken a tour of it? Yes, it's amazing. And in 2018, they were selected throughout the nation as a top 3 clean water awards in the nation, and that is huge. So their water project and their awards that they have received are just phenomenal. And then on top of that, thank you, Ms. Mills, to everything that you've been doing and your team for helping our families in need. And then the breakout sessions that we had at the Florida School Board Association that we've all attended last week, we were in the large breakout session, and a lot of things that we are experiencing here is basically what a lot of the counties are experiencing as well. So we were working on different solutions and listening to each other of ways to resolve and see what we can do to help implement and make some changes. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair. I was going to highlight the conference as well. I think it was very meaningful. We all tried to divert and attend different breakout sessions, so I look forward to the opportunity to get back together and go over some of the best practices. The foundation, Jean Van Smith and team, fabulous event, and I think it was their most successful ever. It was a different vibe. I love the music, and it was a great evening. I was able to participate in the cubicle judging, and let me just say the staff in this building are so competitive. They are top-notch creative, and it was tough. But congratulations to ePathways and your team winning. That was a lot of fun. We also hosted a joint workshop with Seminole State College, just continuing our vision for mutual goals for our students, building our applicants to Seminole State, and it was very productive, and I'm very happy about that. And with that, we are moving along to public comments that are non-agenda items. And the limitation is 2 minutes each. And when I call your name, please come up to the podium. Our first speaker is Longwood Mayor Matt Morgan. Thank you for being here.
Is the microphone, I take it? Do I have to squat down?
Sorry, we don't have
Tall for you that
microphones
are
that
wondering.
tall.
Your
Don't
voice
act
is
like
loud
you're
enough,
not.
we'll hear you.
Yeah?
Yes,
All
we
right.
know you can.
This isn't a wrestling ring, remember? No, I'm joking. Longwood City Mayor Matt Morgan. I'm also a father of a nonverbal autistic son by the name of Jackson Morgan. I'm also an IEP advocate for a slew of different special needs and neurodiverse children here in Seminole County Public School System. As we know, 23% of our public school system here in Seminole County is made up of someone somewhere on the special needs spectrum, whether it's 504, ESE, or IEP. So with that, over the course of the last few years now, I've worked very hard to work with Representative Scott Plakin on the House side here in Florida to pass a bill that would put cameras in special needs classrooms with a test pilot program in Broward County. The misnomer, the thing that people misunderstand about this the most is that, well, then the parents are just gonna sit at home all day and just watch the camera all day and watch their kid. That's not how it works. The goal behind it is, my son, for example, he can't come home from school if, God forbid, somebody, whether it's a teacher or someone in the classroom, put hands on him or did something worse to him. He can't come home and share that with us because he can't talk. And many of our special needs children have the same problem where they can't advocate for themselves. By proxy, it also protects the teacher, because I've seen a slew of different parents in our community that go on social media and bury these teachers that are really good teachers, didn't do anything wrong, and these certain investigations proven that just so. But again, at the end of the day, it's still somebody's word against the other person's. These cameras would take care of that. And again, only the SRO officer would be the one who'd be able to see this camera footage. So again, parents are not at home just watching their kid in class all day like a lot of people I keep hearing and seeing on social media get wrong and incorrect. So Seminole County, we're supposed to be the leaders, and we are the leaders. I'm very impressed with Amy Elwood and Tanya Shore so far of resurrecting this entire ESE department so far. Super impressed with them. And if we're gonna continue to be that A-rated, county public school system, we shouldn't be waiting for Broward County or for any other county. We should be leading the way with this. So please think about this and make it come true. Please. Thank you guys, and welcome to our 2 newest members. Congratulations. Thank you.
Mayor. Next up, I have Gabriela Rosales. And next will be Catherine Andre.
Good evening, members of the school board. My name is Gabriela Gongora Rosales, and I'm a junior at Seminole High School. And I'm here to speak to you today about students in Seminole County who are survivors of sexual assault or sexual harassment. At the national level, the number of reported incidents of sexual violence in students K through 12 has risen from 9,600 to about 15,000 between the 2015, 2016, and 2017, 2018 school years. These numbers cannot even begin to convey the trauma and pain that students experience when they encounter sexual harassment at schools, and this trauma comes at the expense of their education. Sexual harassment is a serious issue in this school district. One student at Geneva Elementary School recalled being touched inappropriately at 9 years old by a 5th grade boy, whose mother was a teacher at the school. When the incident was reported to the boy's mother, she alleged that her son said he had done nothing wrong, and the incident report was not taken any further. The confusion, pain, and trauma this student and her family must have felt could have been mitigated easily if they had been equipped with knowledge of proper procedures for reporting sexual assault or sexual harassment on campus under Title IX. This case and many other students' cases where sexual assault was reported are not given the gravity they are required, and they could constitute deliberate indifference and a failure on behalf of Seminole County Public Schools to protect their students. This school district does not provide the adequate resources for students who survive sexual harassment and assault, and these inadequate resources irreparably harm the trust students and families place in the school district to protect their children. To provide teachers, students, parents, and administrators with proper knowledge of Title IX and how to report these incidents is to ensure students the protection and safety that they need and are legally entitled to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kitty Andre, and I'm a 6th grade teacher here at Seminole County, and I'm here to talk about the disparity between school rankings and teacher pay. According to schooldigger.com, Seminole County is ranked number 7th in the state. As somebody who's not from Florida and had to do their research, looking and researching the districts, it was really nice to know that I chose a great county. It's unfortunate, though, that teacher pay does not reflect that. It makes me wonder, should I stay here or should I go to another district? I could go to Volusia County, 40th in the district, or Osceola County, 57th in the state, and make $1,190 more. I could go to Orange County, 34th in the state, and make $2,090 more a year. I could even go to Lake County, 28th, and get paid $2,190 more. Or even Brevard, 19th in the state, and make $2,415 more a year. Sumter County seems to be at the top of my list, where I can get paid $5,181 more a year. I asked the school board how they plan on staying a top-rated school if they are not paying their teachers top rate.
Next up, I have Brian Kupperman, followed by Thomas Burgos and Stephen Ratcliffe.
Good evening. My name is Brian Cooperman. I'm a teacher, a resident, and a parent in Seminole County. According to rentdata.org, which compiles information based on zip code, the median price for a studio apartment is $14.45. A one-bedroom apartment is $15.36 in this area. These numbers equate to 36.5% and 38.8% of most teachers' salaries in Seminole County. According to Realtor.com, the median home price is $405,000. I don't know many teachers that have $81,000 for a 20% down payment or the over $2,000 a month for a mortgage for a house that expensive. Teachers that are new to the district with 0 to 18 years of experience earn the same amount of pay. Teachers who have been in the district for 0 to 9 years all earn the same amount of pay. These are professionals in their 30s and 40s who cannot afford to live in the communities where they teach without a spouse, a partner, or a roommate. According to the Department of Education's website, when compared to the surrounding Central Florida counties, SCPS had the highest percentage of students earning at least a 3 or higher in grades 3 through 8 math, Algebra 1 EOC, Geometry EOC, Grade 8 Science, Biology 1 EOC, Civics EOC, and U.S. History EOC. I stood up here just moments ago with some students and the other band director from my school to be recognized that our program was one of 5 in the entire nation that was recognized as a program of excellence. These accomplishments cannot be created without the excellent teachers in our district. SCPS is number 1 in so many categories. Why can't we be in teacher compensation?
Good evening. My name is Thomas Joe Bugas II, and I am a resident here of Seminole County and a teacher of 16 years and a parent of 2 Seminole County graduate, well, 1 graduate and 1 sophomore. I'd just like to welcome the school board, superintendent, and the new CFO on board to our wonderful school district. But I want you to understand the weight of this school district lays on you. You have the entire school district, the county, waiting for you. It is your employees that do their job, but you are the ones that have to make the decisions and make your employees happy. And I can tell you right now, so many of your employees are not happy working in this county, and you have a job that you need to come up with. How are you going to change this? We are in a district, we will stay in a district, but you have to support your staff, your employees, to maintain that. And as you know, as a school board, it all depends on you. So please take that in consideration when you come forward for the rest of your terms. Thank you.
Thank you. Stephen Ratcliffe. Okay, Kristen Bear.
Hello everyone, I am Kristen Baer. I'm here again speaking about Evans Elementary. You guys should have pictures in front of you from today of my son. There's pictures from when he woke up this morning, before he went into school, and within about 2 hours of being at school, the reaction he had. So I know that we quote unquote remediated Evans, but there's clearly still an issue. I don't know what the issue is, but whatever was done was not good enough. I took my son to urgent care today. He has contact dermatitis from something at school. They told me he touched something. I have the medical records and I will gladly send them to you. I have to take him to the dermatologist tomorrow. So now, once again, I'm inquiring more medical bills due to Evans Elementary. It's getting very, very old, and I am very tired of my son having to deal with this. Not to mention the fact I went in and I saw what was done at the school, and it's not good enough. Plastic walls aren't adequate. I'm sorry. The drywall dust is everywhere. Everywhere in those classrooms. Don't tell me those buildings were professionally cleaned. I own my own cleaning business. It was not cleaned. It's not acceptable. Instead, the teachers had to clean it. And in what time? Evenings, nights, weekends? No, not okay. And while we're at it, why don't we give these teachers a raise? Because I'm getting real sick of all these educators that come here and talk to us and they don't get paid. And they are what keeps you guys in business. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Katrina Shaddix, followed by Deborah Kraus.
Hi there, Katrina Shaddix, 1011 Seneca Oaks Trail, Geneva, Florida. I gave y'all some paperwork. I just want to say I'm here tonight with my son Dane. He was a lifelong student at Seminole County Public Schools, as was I and my mom and my dad and my aunts and my uncles. And he just finished his semester at UCF with 3 A's and a B, and he's going for engineering. And before he graduated from Oviedo, he got 2 degrees at Seminole State College. So he is a product of Seminole County Public Schools, and I'm proud of him, and this county has done a good job with our schools. So the papers in there, the first is a picture of Roundup that was used on Sterling Elementary Park property. It was doused, just dumped all over a gopher tortoise burrow that the children adopted and named Sterling. The gopher tortoise was killed. I spoke with y'all about 2 years ago asking if you would make a proclamation that these deadly herbicides and pesticides would not be used on school property. What's concerning is these chemicals are sprayed right by the school doors where the kids are going on plants that, like, there's no plants there, there's just mulch, and they're spraying this. And if a kid were to drop his pencil, pick it up and put it in his mouth, you know, this could be some of the contact dermatitis that she had referred to, because that's what it does when you come in contact with these chemicals. So I'm just asking if y'all could make a proclamation. I can help y'all and discuss this later. But the fun part is the page after that. My Bear Warriors United, my nonprofit, wants to get a Gardening for Nature program implemented through the county, and have 3 different types of garden on every school property to help kids learn how to grow their food. And there's reasons for that. There's going to be a food shortage, less farmers happening. Do pollinator gardens, wildlife food gardens. We're going to pay for everything. I'll get the volunteers. We just want to be able to give a fun educational program to our kids that's really, really needed right now. and we can talk later about it in detail.
Thank you.
My name's Deborah Kraus. I am a resident of Seminole County and a mother of 3 here. I just wanted to say that I am disappointed, of course, to know that the school board cannot or will not amend the student progression plan before January, but I understand that the processes must be followed, so I'm hopeful that you are still all considering amending the progress plan. I was appalled recently to learn that the district-wide problem in Skyward had affected every single school in some manner, and that these issues have and will continue to plague the students unknowingly. But I was reassured that you guys are fixing it and you are taking measures to correct it, so that made me hopeful. And hopefully by next year, all the issues and bugs will have been worked out. Most of all tonight, though, I wanted you to hear from a real dual enrollment student. She's an exceptionally hardworking student. She has taken a lot of dual enrollment courses. She has made a lot of sacrifices. And I want to let her tell you directly, because it does hurt her, and I want you to hear from her directly how it feels to have her hard work discounted by this county. So I believe probably she's next, Stephanie Kraus?
Yes, Stephanie Kraus,
All
yes. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, that was a good segue. Hi, my name is Stephanie Kraus. I'm a senior at Lake Brantley, and I've done, like she said, a whole lot of dual enrollment classes. It's just hurtful knowing that all my hard work is only given half the credit towards GPA that other students are given. Like most new enrollment students, I've worked my butt off. I've spent hours doing calculus with analytical geometry, statistics, and chemistry, to name a few. I've spent over 6 hours every week just going to chemistry class this year. I had to miss school functions. I couldn't be on a sports team because of my schedule. I couldn't be in plays. I couldn't go to Powder Puff. I couldn't participate in most of the senior traditions just because of the way my schedule works in order to get the classes that I need. And so I've done all of this with a goal in mind, and I'm really proud of myself for how far I've come. I just think it's unfair that me and all the other dual enrollment students work so hard in order to accomplish our goals. Like you said, you encourage people to follow non-traditional pathways, and it just hurts that it's not given the same value as my AP friends.
Thank you very much. Mitchell Kraus, followed by Stephen Cornea.
Good evening. My name is Mitchell Kraus. I am a resident of Seminole County, and I have 3 children in Seminole County schools. I again rise to speak of the disservice being done to dual enrollment students in this county. This county is the only county that discounts credits earned at college courses taken pursuant to our articulation agreement. Seminole County is the only county that does this. Orange County does not. Lake County does not, Brevard County does not, Volusia County does not. What is troubling is when these dual enrollment students in Seminole County apply to colleges with Orange County dual enrollment classes, you are forcing their GPAs to be lower by discounting or discrediting the number of hours credits they get for a dual enrollment course. The legal authority that we have been given, I believe, is absurd. If it was correct, then why is no other county in this state following the lead in its progression plan by discounting dual enrollment courses? What we are doing is a disservice to our students, just as we are doing a disservice to our teachers by paying them lower than other counties. We need to raise up Seminole County so it continues to be the 7th rated school district. Dual enrollment courses is one way to do that. But if you continue to discount the number of credits, they will not encourage people to do it. It is a way for them to get college credit that must be taken. Unlike AP courses, it must be credited when they go to college. You need to fix this problem. Unfortunately, it's going to be too late for my child because her GPA was lowered as a result of the failure of this board to appropriately calculate GPAs of dual enrollment courses. Thank you.
Thank you. Stephen Cornea.
Madam Chairman, Superintendent, board members, one of the phrases that we often hear is that talking about getting back to normal. As a teacher in Seminole County, normal ended on March 13th, 2020. We're not getting back to normal. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. We have to redefine what reality is for our students, our teachers, and our employees in Seminole County. We've heard much about Dr. Weissong has come and talked about many of the excellent programs that are in place to help our students remediate learning gaps. We've heard people talk about making sure Seminole County has future-ready graduates. Ask a teacher how they can prepare future graduates and how they can use these programs when the best of our classrooms have one computer for every 2 students, and many of those computers are the technological equivalent of a doorstop. We talk about discipline and how discipline in schools are down, how the discipline reports are down, and how things are getting better. Yet ask a teacher why they're not filling out referrals, and they will tell you because at the end of the day, they know there will be no consequences. So why bother doing it in the first place? They talk about substitutes, the difficulty of finding subs. Teachers will come to work sick, not because they're dedicated to their students, not because they're dedicated to their craft, but because having to do lesson plans and submit them for a one-day sub is more work than having to plan a lesson, pop 2 NyQuil, and come into work the next morning possibly sick. You have talked about as a board how you're accountable to the taxpayers, how you're accountable to the shareholders, how Seminole County Public Schools is a business. I'm a stakeholder. Our students are stakeholders, our parents are stakeholders. Since the end of last year, over 400 teachers left Seminole County at the end of last year. 178 have left since the start of this year. If I were a corporation, if I were a shareholder, I would want to know from my board of directors why 16% of my employees of the company that I'm a shareholder in have bailed. I'd like to know from my CEO why this year alone, more than 5% of the teachers have left and come back. Someone needs to ask the question, and it's not to the parents, it's not to the students, it's to ask someone who has dedicated their lives to this profession, why did you go? When you start doing that, you'll find out what the problem is, and you'll find out how to make a better reality for Seminole County for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Next up is Nina Sandberg, followed by Ashley Pittman, followed by Ruth Assanio.
I'm Nina Sandberg. The board needs to restore the public comment rights of the citizens, and you need to give them their full 3 minutes and non-agenda public comment time again. You also need to get the lifts at the OHS automotive program fixed. You need to provide ITMS with funding to hire an in-school suspension teacher. You need to fix Evans Elementary School. The board needs to give teachers, speech therapists, and lower-level employees better pay, benefits, and working conditions. The ESE department needs to be rehabilitated. Continue working on this. If I cannot read the book out loud at a board meeting, then you should not be giving it to my kids to read. Get the inappropriate X-rated pornography out of the schools. The 3 Democrat board members had their picture taken with a woman who has been continually violating the public comment rules for a year. This woman has been telling libel, slander, defamation, and lies about all kinds of people who she doesn't even know, including board members, school board candidates, parents, and parents groups. These 3 board members had no business getting their picture taken with this woman and have no business virtue signaling that they approve her behavior, as her behavior is reprehensible. You represent the entire community now. You are community leaders. You need to be working on unifying the community, unifying SCPS, and bringing everybody together. There's no room for identity politics, politicking around here, and there's no room for throwing stones at people and for playing tribalism. Everybody needs to work together to improve the lot at this school system. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ashley Pittman. I am an elementary teacher at Redbug Elementary in Castleberry, and I want to talk to you guys about the concerns regarding our teacher's salary. You guys have some major decisions to make in the upcoming weeks and months, and I feel that it's very important that you hear some of the things that we're going through. Teaching today, we can all agree, is drastically different than it was 15 years ago, 10 years ago, or even 3 years ago, especially as Steve Cornea pointed out. When COVID hit, everything changed, and which was really interesting because we were considered an essential career at that time. So even with everything hitting the fan, we still showed up and did what we needed to do when we provided an excellent education for these students. And we have proven ourselves time and time again with test scores, with PBIS, with our work ethics. As Steve mentioned, we come to work sick. We have to. We have to because it's for the kids, it's because it's for the district, we have to. But one of the things that really surprised me or really made me think about everything recently was just last week I was sitting in a staff meeting for active shooter training. And I don't know how many people have actually been through the active shooter training. I know that it is prescribed to the district because it's clearly a thing. But to be through it and to know that I might have to put a tourniquet on somebody one day is quite astounding when you sit and think about it, when you sit and think about what you went to school for. I went to college to become a teacher, to educate young minds, to inspire the love of whatever it is that these kids love. I want to foster it, I want it to grow, I want these kids to know that they're special and that they can do anything. Now I have to be worried about all this extra, and I understand that's the society that we're in today. These things are a great threat and a great importance, and I want to be there for my students. That is my utmost important goal. But if we're talking about, like, have we earned it? Have we earned the compensation? I'm sitting through an active shooter training. I think I've earned it. I've worked really hard, and I am now putting on a hat that law enforcement puts on, that military puts on, that was not in my degree description when I started. And many of us are doing it willingly because we know we have to and we know our students need us. So I ask that when you guys make your decisions, please think about that. Our job is very different and it does entitle more. And it would be very nice if it all matched.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much.
Ruth Asanio, followed by Jessica Tillman, followed by Raquel Moline.
Good evening. I am a parent of 2 children at Evans Elementary. I've spoken here previously on my disappointment of how the concretable issues have been addressed. This disappointment continues. Information requests by parents continue to be ignored. I do not understand why some reports are being sent to parents and others we are being told to put in public records requests. In reply to my emails, Paul Senko has directed me to submit a public records request. Instead of many parents submitting requests all on the same documents, we've actually gathered together and have delegated specific parents to submit these requests in hopes that the records will be released faster. This has not happened. My son has severe breathing issues, and I have been waiting for the test results conducted by Universal Engineering Sciences performed on November 15th, 17th, 21st, and 23rd, as well as the reports generated by UES from these tests. These records are being requested by my son's pulmonary specialist, as the test will show the closest to what my son potentially was exposed to. Because we have not received these records, tomorrow his 7-year-old body will be subjected to testing, so we could get ahead of anything that might have entered his lungs. Do you like getting poked by needles? Because my son is terrified of it. And he's going to have to go through this because no transparency and records are being released. The remediation completed is less than subpar. The issues are not fixed. However, parents are basically being told to shut up. We were told by the superintendent that we could transfer our children. However, when I contacted Choice's office, as I was told to, they informed me they have not received any directive by the superintendent for the Evans kids to transfer, and transferring was not possible. It just leads to more lies for me. Please provide the information and records parents are begging for. The transparency you as a board promise us, and complete the work correctly for the safety of our children and teachers. A safe learning environment should be the #1 priority above all else. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jessica Tillman. I'm a Seminole County resident. I do think that you guys should look into cameras for special needs classrooms. The Broward program is a pilot program. It's a 3-year program. They're in their 2nd year. Next year will be their 3rd year. After that, it will most likely be rolled out statewide because we did get feedback from Broward County that it is going well in Broward. So we're very hopeful that we'll be able to roll it out here. I think that it would be a great initiative to show that our ESE students are supported and we are turning our program around. So it would be great for you guys to be proactive in looking into maybe adding it to school security and safety to fund it. I started volunteering for the Living on My Own program with the Dividend program. Fantastic program. So the kids are given a sheet of paper and it tells them their job, career, how much they make, how many kids they support, and they have to go around and they have to provide for those kids. If they have an infant, they have to buy diapers. If they have three kids, they can't buy a sports car, they can't buy a bicycle. So I think that maybe what the district level superintendent and all of these $100,000 people that make $100,000 a year to sit in their cushy desks needs to be handed a sheet of paper that says teacher and give them a teacher's salary and make them walk around to all these tables and make them live on a teacher's salary or a bus driver's salary or a cafeteria worker's salary. Make them understand what it's like to live in their shoes. I also think you need to work on Evans Elementary. There's plenty of things within this district that needs work. Welcome to the new board. Please get busy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Raquel Molina. I don't know why whenever I come over here my anxiety kicks in, but it's all worth it for our kids and the kids that have no voice, the ones in the ESE department. I'm here begging for their support, for cameras to be placed in the special education classrooms. Years back, maybe I wouldn't have been here begging for cameras to be installed in special education classroom, but my child went through a lot, and the things I've gone through throughout the years with administrators, superintendent, and most of the board members, which there's only 3 here that are familiar with my case. I'm begging, please install cameras in special education classroom. Please help the SLPs. Please advocate for the great teachers. Most teachers, 95% of the teachers in Seminole County are awesome, ethical, but we do have a few bad, rotten apples. And those rotten apples will upload stuff on Facebook. And I'm sure the superintendent has seen it and a few of the board members. This is from a teacher. Walk away, I have anger issues and a serious dislike for stupid people. That's an ESE teacher posting stuff on Facebook. I love everybody. Some I love to be around, some I love to avoid, and others I love to punch in the face. That's the same ESE teacher that bullied my child and many others. Last but not least, because I have more, Sweet as sugar, hard as rice. Cross me once and I'll shoot you twice. And I sure hope the superintendent, Cross, and the other two board members, I hope you guys know that this is a serious issue. These two rotten apples needs to be removed from the special education classroom. These kids can't talk. Fortunately, my daughter could. Do something about it. If you guys are covering up that type of abuse, you shouldn't be there. Stand up for all kids. LGBTQ, ESE kids, all kids. Thank you. Happy holidays. I sure hope next year will be a lot better than this year.
Thank you. That concludes our public comments. Superintendent, do we have any updates from Evans? Is there any?
Well, certainly Mr. Wolski can provide an update. I would ask that Ms. Asiano talk with Dr. Wysong, because the only information, our SAPA department has been directed as it relates to the transfers for any Evans Elementary. However, the only communication I got was that there was a communication to a charter school, which does not go through our system. That's a different process, and one that is not under the control of the board. So we would definitely like to have a conversation, because there are available transfers that we can discuss with the families. And Mr. Wolski, if you could step up to provide an update on Evans Elementary.
Thank you.
Good evening, Chair Kraus, Board Member, Superintendent Beeman. Staff and students are back in their classrooms in the concretables. And I kind of mentioned before, previous information, before those students and staff entering the classrooms, there were certain steps that had to be taken. We had two private consulting firms do assessing of the concretables. We also had mold testing occurring too. So before students and staff were moved back in, there was clearance test that it was safe to do so. So students and staff are back in. Principal Hardy, the week, I do believe it was the week of when they returned, at a open house for parents to come and see their kids, their classrooms. And from Principal Hardy, that was very successful. So where we're at now. So we are in the upcoming work for Evans, based on the architectural from Universal Engineering, their building envelope architect recommendations. We'll be installing a custom gutter solution, and we're looking at doing that spring break. Site drainage and grading enhancements per the civil engineer recommendations. We're looking at that spring break and summer. A lot of these are big jobs, and so at this point, what we do not want to do is disrupt the classrooms. And again, these things here were not necessary to move staff or students back into the classroom. So that's why we're waiting for the spring break and summertime to do some of this work. We'll be also removing the vinyl floor that's there now and replacing that with a sheet vinyl with LVT. All windows are scheduled to be replaced when we are received, and again, we're looking, that's going to be in the summertime. When the windows are in, we'll then, again, exterior-wise, be pressure washing and repainting the exterior as well. So we should be wrapping things up this summer.
Very good. Thank you.
Question.
Yes.
So when I had a conversation with you, the windows have been ordered, correct?
The windows have not been ordered.
They have not?
No.
Okay.
So we worked
What has
on.
been?
So originally, during probably the week before Thanksgiving, we were working with a contractor to actually directly with a window contractor to order windows. We were having difficulty with window orders and also in a sense the pricing. So we reached out to one of our local contractors here within Seminole County, And he was expecting to have orders, quotes for us last week, but it's been difficult to get vendors to respond to them. So their goal is, I mean, we've been pressing them because we want to get them ordered, get them moving, which is why we kind of went to, again, one of our local contractors trying to help us get that done. We're still expecting the summer.
And then Universal Engineering, when will we get to see the report from them?
The goal, the information I think we had put out earlier, that by the end of this week, the goal was to have that report out to parents.
And we'll get to see it too, because we haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chad.
Oh, you're welcome.
I do have one question for the board clerk. When is our next open discussion meeting?
Your next open discussion meeting is scheduled for February 7th.
February? Is it possible, or the consensus of the board, to look at the progression plan dual enrollment as well as cameras in special classrooms, just so we can have a public discussion at that time? Yes?
Yes,
Okay,
we
is
can
that
put on
the
the topic
consensus
whatever
of the
you'd like
board?
to put on the topic.
To put it on,
And
okay.
We usually give a list of things that we want to,
Note, Madam Chair, the student progression plan is a policy, so it'd have to be noticed correctly in the paper. And there's a process different than just a regular topic on an open discussion. That's a policy we'd have to notice.
Okay, so can we add that when we have our next policy? Thank you.
Yeah, Ms. Kraus, just, that would be similar to what was done today at the workshop. You can have a discussion of it, an open discussion, but if there's, when it's
Okay.
ready for a change, it has to be noticed, as Ms. Marina
Okay, so maybe our next batch of policies that we review. Okay. Any other comments from any board members? I would just like to wish you all, the staff, the parents, the teachers that come every meeting, have a relaxing holiday. Thank you for all you do every single day. Enjoy your families. This
happy
meeting
holidays.
is adjourned.
Stay safe.